Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs, explore the road ahead for them and their company. I'm your host, Tearsa Nelson, and in each episode, we will uncover the stories behind successful startups, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future expansion. Today, we are joined by Daniel Dixon Jr., founder and CEO of Next Level Advising. Daniel has built Next Level Advising into a premier financial consulting firm that empowers individuals and businesses through personalized financial planning, wealth management, and investment strategies. Based in Indiana and leveraging a virtual first model, Daniel's expertise drives Next Level Advising's mission to secure clients' financial futures and tailored high impact solutions. Welcome to Founders Future, Daniel. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for joining us today. Let's just jump right back to the beginning. What inspired you to launch Next Level Advising?
Yeah, so this is a long story, but we'll start from the very beginning. So back in 2021, I want to start my journey off of there. This is like the summer where I think this is like the second year of COVID, and I was in college. And around that time, this is when I started to learn more about what we talked about, just the wealth management or just how to make money online. During COVID, everybody was going virtual. So like the big push was like, okay, how do you like make money online? So I started doing that and I started going to the gym. I started making my own YouTube channel. It had nothing to do with creating money or anything, but this is what leads up to the story. So that whole summer, I got my mindset into trying new stuff. And because my mindset was different, I was more susceptible to joining different opportunities. That same summer, that's when I ended up joining a network marketing company where we learned how to like trade Forex and stuff. I didn't do too good in that. I was not a good trader. I've blown so many accounts, but during that process, I had a lot of personal development. I understood a lot more about wealth management. I read a couple of great books. And the one book that really led me to starting my company today was called Rich Dad Poor Dad. I don't know if you ever heard Rich
I
Dad
have,
Poor Dad. Yeah, so I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. He was talking about the poor dad versus the rich dad, talks about liabilities, assets. So that book really taught me and then got my mind over to, okay, the rich, the wealthy people are leveraging their assets or they're investing into assets. And so what he talks about in that book was if you want to leverage assets, you got to get into debt. So now my mind is starting to get open to, okay, how do I get into debt? How do I leverage into these assets? That's when the term credit came around. So I was unfamiliar with the term credit, but around that time, all my mentors, all my business partners started talking about the term credit as well. So time goes on, I'm just jumping from different opportunity affiliating, and just an opportunity landed in my lap of learning how to fix credit. And at the same time, I was learning how to just build it myself. So I learned how to build credit. I started my own credit repair company where like the people that have negative items like late payments, charge-offs, bankruptcies, anything that's reporting, if it's reporting inaccurately, then you as a consumer have the right to challenge the inaccuracy of it. Anything that has to be reported has to be reported accurately. So that went on, and then just more and more as the more clients I was accepting and who I was, because my goal for life is to create generational wealth. And going back to that book, Robert Kiyosaki was like, you got to leverage debt. So the main reason why you want to fix your credit is to get funding or to get access to capital so you can leverage into these assets. So that's when my business over the past 2 years, we switched entirely to help. Now we help business owners to secure the capital that they need to scale and invest into the business. So that's how I got started as far as my company and everything. So long stories.
oh no, yeah, that makes sense. I follow this guy on TikTok and he interviews billionaires and he's just,
Yeah.
I think it's just something Hard Knocks, but
Yeah, hard. Yeah, I follow him. Yeah, I
like
watched that.
they all say all these really wealthy entrepreneurs, they're like, you need a line of credit, you need to borrow money. If you have no money, you go into debt first, and that's what builds you up to be as successful as possible. So you
Yeah.
seem like you're on the right path with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's explore how your operations work. How do you generate revenue? And can you tell me a little bit about your pricing structure?
Yeah, so the main way that we generate revenue is that we are a consulting company, so we help business owners to obtain the capital that they need for the business. So what we do is that if a business owner comes to us, we get them prepared in order to go get the capital from the banks because the banks, they want to see certain requirements. And a lot of business owners can't access the capital. It's because they don't know how to structure themselves and they don't know exactly what the banks are looking for. So I personally I had to fix my credit myself back in the day. remove some like inquiries or fix my personal information and stuff. And I actually had to invest into mentorships to learn what the banks actually want. When I invest into that mentorship, I actually funded myself over $100,000 in just 45 days from
Hmm.
the banks. They look at good personal credit, your business documents, LLC. They want to make sure that you look professional. So our services is that we're here to prepare the clients before they go to the banks, so they don't have to worry about denials, or they don't have to worry about stressing. Okay, I gotta watch YouTube video after YouTube video, or I gotta ask this person to do it. We offer a done for you service to where we help you get prepared, and then we will connect you with my internal relationships that I have inside of like the banks, right? Whether that's like Chase, Truist, Key Bank, doesn't matter who it is. I have connections with the vice presidents or the banking relation managers inside those banks to where, hey, I have a client that's looking for capital. They're looking for this amount. Let's go help them get to the next level. And so that's where the revenue comes in, is the fee that we charge. And then we also charge a success fee, like a consulting fee of
Hmm.
like the performance fee that we get for the clients. So that's where the revenue comes in right there. And then I think you asked me like what business model. The business model is done for you service. So that's what we offer.
Yeah, so I think my main goal of that question was how do you generate your revenue? Like, where do you acquire your clients?
Oh my. So we regenerate the clients through social media. Majority of it comes through Instagram. So I have a following on Instagram. I generate leads through social media. I have a lot of referrals, word of mouth, and also get a lot of these clients from networking events. So when I just go out and network and go to different events, sometimes I speak there. A lot of times I'm connecting, sharing contacts and stuff. We ended up doing partnerships, whether that's a partnership with the other business partner or if the business partner needs my service. So that's how I'm generating the revenue and getting those leads. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Which strategies that you just mentioned have seemed to work best in scaling your company?
Since I'm in the funding company, I'm in the funding space where it's going to deal with a lot of sensitive information. I found what's worked best for me is going in person and meeting these people, just because it's face to face. I'm
Mhm.
not online saying, hey, I can do X, Y, and Z for you, because a lot of gurus out there will say that. But when
Yeah.
I'm in person, I can actually show my results. They can ask me on the spot. I've seen the best results going in person because they can just ask me the questions, and it's in person, like they're seeing the person that's actually doing it. So
Right.
every event I went to, I've signed a couple of clients, and I don't even know these people, but it's just the instant trust and credibility right there.
Yeah, yeah, you definitely are very educated in this field. So it seems pretty easy to be like, we like him, we trust him, let's get on.
Yeah.
That being said, how many clients do you have currently?
So we have about, I think we have 7 or 8. We have about 7 or 8 clients that we're currently working with right now. And then the other day, actually, we just got a client some funding yesterday. So I know he started a month ago. So yeah, we have about 7 or 8 clients that we're working with right now.
Okay, perfect. And what is your ideal amount of clients that you would like to have on a monthly basis?
Yeah. So I'm the type of business owner where I don't want to work with too many clients. I like quality. So I like to work with less clients, maybe like 10 to 15 clients per month. One, that's going to help me reach my goals. Two, the fulfillment is going to be a lot easier for the team. But I just feel like for me, I just like working with a small amount of people. So that 10 to 15 range is ideally where I want to be at.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense. You just mentioned you have a team. How do you organize your team, particularly when it comes to client engagement?
Could you explain like more about client engagement? You mean like before they become a client or like when they become a client?
Yeah, it's before and then during the early stages of them actually signing on with you.
Okay. So I'll just go through the whole process of what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
So right now I'm actually working with different people. I'm testing out different marketing strategies to like gain leads online. So right now, currently, we have set up like a whole VSL, and we're about to start running ads. So they don't really do anything right now as far as like client engagement. We will start implementing appointment setters, and I'm actually creating a training for my team as we speak. So we're going to start implementing that next week. Now, when a client they hop on the call with me. Then after that, we get them onboarded. They're going to get invited to their own Slack channel. They're going to get their own Notion document of going over like the task and stuff. And then once they get onboarded, like my team is showing them, hey, we need this from you. So that's
Mhm.
like what the client engagement looks like before, and then when they become a client.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it makes total sense. Let's pivot a little bit right here. Bottlenecks often hinder growth and scaling of companies such as yourself. These, have any bottlenecks made it an issue for you to scale more and be more
Yeah.
successful?
So I think my biggest bottleneck that I experienced, and just being real here, I think when I got into the space of learning how to scale, like I read a book called Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell. Really great book because when I first started the business, I was solopreneur. I was doing everything myself. And then whenever I read that book, I realized the reason why I didn't have enough, like I wasn't making more money is because I wasn't valuing my time properly. If I'm stuck doing all the fulfillment, if I'm stuck doing all the tasks, I'm stuck doing everything. I don't have enough time to where I can bring in the business. When I first understood that concept, I was like, okay, I'm going to delegate everything. I'm going to just let go of everything. And I think for me, my biggest bottleneck was I hired, I have a team of 4 virtual assistants, but I believe that I hired way too many assistants and they were just, at the beginning, they were just left with, okay, what do I do? There wasn't really enough tasks for virtual assistants. So there was not enough, I guess, input for them so we can receive a lot of output. So I think
Okay.
I hired too fast. And so that bottleneck led me to going more into just, hold on, I just lost track. That bottleneck where I hired too fast. Then that led me to realizing, okay, since I tried hiring all the tasks, I didn't hire specifically for what's going to be bringing in the business. So my
Hmm.
second bottleneck was, okay, now I have everything delegated, but if everything is delegated, why didn't I focus on the lead generation system? Why didn't I focus on client acquisition? This is the changes that we're currently making right now. And
Absolutely.
so because I didn't focus on the client acquisition, that was another bottleneck because if I'm going to all these networking events, how can I still generate leads where I can value my time, create something once, creating content, knowing how to acquire clients. So it's like on autopilot lead generation system. To go to any events, I don't have to keep doing this to where I can get the client acquisition. So that was the two main bottlenecks that I experienced. So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the issues is you hired too many, but I think another issue is you didn't hire those A plus candidates that would
yeah,
have optimized what you were looking for. So that was
exactly.
definitely an issue there, but it's
Yeah.
you realized it and you're working to solve
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Now I'm glad. Like I made a lot of mistakes, but I don't look at something as like a mistake as a failure. Like Thomas he didn't say that he failed 1,000 times. He just found 1,000 ways that didn't successfully work. So I just look at it as, hey, it's a learning lesson, and as long as I'm making the right progress or making the right moves, I should be fine. And I'm heading into the right direction.
If you don't fail at certain aspects in a company, you don't know where you can pivot to make it better. So,
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
okay, cool. So let's go into a little bit about the future of next level advising. What are you hoping for in the next 6 to 12 months?
Yeah, next 6 to 12 months, I have a company goal of funding over 100 million to small business owners. So that's like the goal between the next 6, 12 months, 24 months. I have a goal of really speaking on a lot of stages and just traveling to different states, going on tour, and just explaining that for small business owners that the main reason why I started was because when I first started my business, I forgot to mention this. I didn't have anything in the bank account. I was still working a job. I didn't have anything in the bank account, but I had an excellent credit score. And I understood that, okay, if I use credit, I'm going to use it smartly. So when I got my first two credit cards for 5K in 30 minutes, that changed the whole game to where, okay, if I actually just leverage my credit, I could get access to capital to invest into the things that I need to scale the business. And so, with my goals for the next 6 to 12 months, I understand that I'm at a stage where I'm talking to business owners where they know they need the capital. And if they just had the funding, they can go and make those moves that they wanted to make. Luckily for me, like when I got the funding, I did make those mistakes, but I still had enough funding left to make those moves that I wanted to make. And
Hmm.
so, those business owners now, my goal is to like help them to realize or help them to see that you can still go get funding to scale or enjoy that running that profitable business or buying back your time or whatever that it is. I'm the guy that's going to be like, hey, you can still go get funding. I'm here to teach you. And so that's really the main goal is just to impact like 1,000 plus business owners to fund over 10 million. So I know if they just had that funding, they could finally reach their goals and do the things that they really want to do. And whether that's life, business, personal life, it doesn't matter what it is. Just having more time to just do what they really want to enjoy doing. So
Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing. You found an issue and you're really educated about this process. So I feel like it's a really great company that you've started
yeah,
here. Would you like to leave the listeners with any piece of advice?
so many. I would just say this: if you're listening to this, there's gonna be a lot of times in business or in personal life where you feel like everything is going against you. Maybe you feel like nothing's happening. You've been probably praying to God and you feel like nothing is happening. The only thing I can really say is you just can't quit and you got to expect miracles. The any successful person that you listen to, they've always had this story. And I truly believe Alex Hermanzi says this too. I truly believe that delayed gratification is like one of the greatest things because if you got something way too quickly, would you be able to obtain it? And there's plenty of times in my journey where I've won something so quickly, but it's because if I obtained it, I would have lost it quickly. So me going through the mistakes, me knowing what it's like to be on the opposite side, whenever I did receive those things, I handled it much better. So every part of the process works. Every part of the process is necessary in order to get to the next level. The end goal isn't the destination, even though it is the destination, but really the process of becoming the person you need to become, that's what you should be focused on. And when I switched my mindset to that, I've had a lot more peace inside the business and understood things at a higher level. So
That's beautiful. I love that, Daniel. That's amazing.
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So that wraps up another inspiring episode of Founders Future. I want to thank Daniel for joining us. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to Founders Future via your favorite podcast platform. You can also find more resources and insights at closers.io, where we are dedicated to helping businesses accelerate their sales and marketing efforts through world-class systems and playbooks. Thanks again for hopping on.